President.
The day after the US president called him a dictator, Volodymyr Zelenskyy hosted Donald Trump's envoy to Ukraine. Cameras captured the encounter, but no questions allowed, apparently at the request of the American side.
The meeting is taking place right now behind those closed doors. Originally, the President and Keith Kellogg were going to be making a statement, but that got cancelled. We've been told, though, that Volodymyr Zelenskyy is motivated. He has a fighting spirit, despite all this language from Washington. There is the concern, though, that maybe he's not talking to the man in the heart of the Trump circle, that maybe Keith Kellogg is actually a bit sidelined.
The language from Washington is increasingly hostile to Ukraine and friendly towards Russia. A top security official dodged a question on whether Mr. Trump also thinks Vladimir Putin is a dictator, and instead criticised Kyiv for rejecting a US proposal to access its natural resources.
President Trump is obviously very frustrated right now with President Zelenskyy. The fact that that he hasn't come to the table, that he hasn't been willing to take this opportunity that we have offered. I think he eventually will get to that point, and I hope so very quickly.
With the US no longer a reliable partner, Ukraine needs Europe to step up. Here, NATO soldiers training in Romania. Western officials say British and other European troops could be deployed to Ukraine as part of what's being called a reassurance force following any ceasefire deal with Russia. But the very idea prompted an outcry from the Kremlin.
Of course, the deployment of military contingents from countries that are NATO members on the territory of Ukraine is not acceptable to us.
With the war still raging and so many false claims coming from the White House, we return to one of the towns that Russia first targeted. This memorial in Bucha, a permanent tribute to the victims of a month of Russian terror. This is the reality of Russia's war. Hundreds of people killed, an entire community terrorized. No one here in Bucha believes anyone other than Moscow was to blame for their suffering. Yes, they're rebuilding their lives now, but as one woman asked me, who is going to mend our souls? Olena lived through that hell. She was shocked to hear the US president recently suggest Ukraine had started the war.
He's dishonest. He calls our president a clown. But honestly, you'd have to search far and wide to find a bigger clown than Trump. A circus act. That's what he is.
But no one is laughing here. Deborah Haynes, Sky News, Bucha, Ukraine.